Yo, what's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. Ah, there it is. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. The internet's acting funny. But a lot of crazy stuff's going on in the world, obviously. Um, yeah, just wanted to jump on here real quick. Close that. Give me a second. All right. Here we go. Let's drop this down over here. All right. So I'm just setting up everything because I can't do it until I comments. All right. Cool. All right. So a lot of crazy stuff's going on. Not sure if you've heard, not sure if you've seen in the news, but a lot of stuff is going on with censorship across the United States and companies that you probably wouldn't even think it would be coming from, but it is. Apple is deciding that they are going to censor people in China because they are being told to do so by the Chinese government. I mean, is this communism working with an American company? Um, Seems kind of crazy that you would think that a company like Apple would do something like this, but I've actually they are doing it, and it's pretty sad to see that they would be doing something like this. Um, I'm gonna get on here real quick and show you this video. I posted it earlier um, on the page, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Let me go ahead and find this for you real quick. Yeah, it's just it's insane, insane to think that we are now living in a country where it is easy for a company to do something like this and get away with it. So let's take a listen.
You had a nice career before you stop. Please stop. I got three cuts from this. I want you to listen to all of this. I would have played it through, but 3 minutes is a long time. So I broke it down into three cuts. Here's cut one, where Martha McCallum asked John Kirby this exact question. You're attacking a private company, Twitter, because you don't like their politics and they may expose the Hunter Biden story. And yet Apple, who may be assisting the Chinese Communist Party, you're not attacking them because they're a private company. And that makes sense to you? Here's cut one. Check this out.
This is an interesting situation that developed with Apple. And I want to start there and get your take on what Apple is doing, because they have restricted, which is what the Chinese government wants, some use of AirDrop ability from iPhone to iPhone because they're cutting the service down. And this is the way the protesters are communicating with each other. What does the White House, what do you say to Apple about helping the Chinese government to keep their people under control?
Look, in general, and we've been clear about this all around the world, we want individual citizens, no matter what government they live under, to be able to communicate freely and openly, transparently and reliably. And we've made that clear with respect to Iran, and we certainly continue to make that clear here with respect to China.
Made that clear to Apple?
Apple's a private company, Martha. They have to make decisions, and they have to speak for those decisions. But here at the White House, here in the administration, we want to see that individual citizens, whether they're protesting or not, but in this case, I know that's the context we're talking about, are able to communicate freely and openly.
Again, she points out obvious hypocrisy.
And I want to say something before good big man Bongino says something, is that we are at a point right now in this government where you have companies, and you're not only seeing it with Apple. Facebook's been doing it. Twitter's been doing it before Elon took over and made it X. You have Instagram. You have these apps that are being controlled and forcing people. We had this whole ordeal where it was, this is fact check. This is fake. This is wrong. This is not right. Shut your account down. And keep you in the dark about a lot of stuff because you're protesting or you're saying something against the government or saying something that isn't right, that is truthful. And now they're going to start shutting your shit down because that's what they're doing right now in China. These people are protesting about the shit that's going on, and Apple is taking orders from the Chinese government to shut these people's shit down. I mean, does this seem right? And you got this asshole in the White House sitting there saying, oh, well, it's a private company. They can do whatever they want. But you're doing it to X. You're sitting here saying that Elon Musk is getting involved with a foreign entity. Okay, anybody that doesn't know what's going on, they're monitoring them. If you didn't see the White House press briefing, the White House was saying that they are monitoring Elon Musk and X because of some foreign dealings. Now, Bongino's going to touch on this, but you always have foreign entities that are going to come in and invest in your business. Why is it okay for you to do it to Elon Musk, but when Apple, who is dealing directly with the Chinese government to shut down protesters, links, conversations, videos, whatever, and Apple is taking direct orders from them to shut these things down, it's okay for them to do it. But you, as a government, are going to get involved and say that, well, Elon Musk is doing something, and it's going to, because he's trying to freaking blow the lid on your goddamn son's freaking corruption. That's all it is. So let's take a look. I'll finish this up and we'll talk about it a little bit more.
But proving my point, again, you're not wasting your time here, that communists, totalitarians, and authoritarian regimes don't give a damn about you pointing out the hypocrisy.
They sure
Kirby
don't.
doesn't care at all.
They sure don't.
He doesn't care at all that Martha's like, you won't say anything to Apple for assisting the Chinese Communist Party because they're a private company?
Yeah.
While you're simultaneously calling out a private company who may expose your boss's malfeasance on Twitter?
Yeah.
And that makes Kirby doesn't care one bit.
They don't give a fuck.
He doesn't apologize for it. He just moves on like, go F yourself. Nothing. I don't really care what you think. Here's part two of this, where thankfully Martha MacCallum does not let this go. And Martha's like, hey, buddy, this just doesn't make any sense. Check this out.
But why not say something to Apple? Because we were just told the other day that the White House is keeping an eye on Elon Musk and Twitter. So why would you say that from the podium? You didn't say it, but Karine Jean-Pierre said it, and not call Apple out for helping the Chinese government to suppress their own people's ability to communicate.
Again, I think we've been very clear and consistent on this. Certainly publicly, we've been very open about our desires to be able to see citizens communicate. And Apple, if this is a decision that they're making, then they should have to speak to that. But we can't. And we aren't in the business of telling private companies how to execute their initiatives.
Yeah, but Twitter's a private company too. So why is Twitter getting one treatment and Apple's getting another is my question.
Well, these are completely two different circumstances. You're talking about the potential. Well, you're talking about the potential for perhaps foreign investment and involvement in the management of Twitter. That's a different issue than what we're talking about here, which is a business decision by Apple with respect to how one of their applications is being utilized.
Certainly,
they're
getting influenced by a foreign government, and that government is
John Kirby.
And as I said before, you've got this asshole up here speaking out of his ass because he's sitting here saying, "Oh, well, that's something totally different. We're not in the habit of telling private companies what to do and how to run their shit." But you're doing it to fucking Elon Musk because he's up against you. He's fucking trying to help blow the lid off of your shit. He's allowing people to fucking go on there and fucking blow your shit to hell. You don't like it. So you're going to censor him just like you did the whistleblower who fucking came out and talked about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's dealings with these fucking foreign entities, and you arrested him for it and put him in jail. How is this not fucking... I'm telling you right now, folks, I've been saying this shit for a long time. These motherfuckers are so sneaky that they are trying to fucking obliterate our Constitution, our American way of life, and our fucking democracy. They are doing it. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They are going to fucking try and do everything they can to steal this fucking election. It is going to happen. We are going to end up busting out in a fucking civil war. Mark my words. I'll let Bongino finish up and we'll get back to it.
How you've allowed yourself to be used as such a fool, I got to tell you, I find really pathetic. It's not personal. From what I've heard, you're a very nice guy, but you're not a man of principle here.
Not one bit.
I'm sorry to have to inform you. You're embarrassing yourself. And also, you're embarrassing people around you who care about you. I mean, this is just pathetic. Notice his logic here. Again, this is why I'm always proud not to be a leftist. We conservatives will call out our own party and have done so, and will continue to do repeatedly when they...
Bongino is making a perfectly good point here. He's saying that the left will always look at other people, but they won't look at themselves. Whereas people that are conservatives or constitutionalists or realists, I don't give a fuck if you're on my side. If you're fucked up, we're going to call you out on it. It doesn't matter across the board. But it's just so blatantly messed up that people can and will not see the hypocrisy and the stupidity that is going on through the media. I'll let him finish up.
Violate principles of liberty, freedom, and conservatism. We do it all the time. All the time. If you listen to the show, you know that. Leftists will go along with anything to maintain power at the cost of their own human dignity. She says, you won't call out a private company? You just called out Twitter. No, this is different. Well, how's it different, John? Because with Twitter, we think there's some foreign involvement, which, by the way, is absurd. A Saudi investment fund has money in Twitter as an equity investor, like just about every other company in America has some foreign investors too. They're not board members. Apple, it appears according to reports, was taking orders and instructions from the Chinese Communist Party to limit airdrop. So your second excuse, it's different, it's about foreign involvement in Twitter, is even worse. Because the foreign involvement in Apple is direct, if the reports are correct.
Exactly.
John, again, please show some dignity. My gosh, how embarrassing. That was a clip from the Dan Bongino Show. You can watch the full show.
And like I said, this was just something that I wanted to post because, like I said, it just bothered me because I'm seeing a lot of this crap happening. And I'm not sure that people realize the seriousness of what is actually going on here. And it's pretty fucking sad. Pretty fucking sad. You have these people who are just, they don't care. They don't care about the government. They don't care about the fucking people. They don't care about who they fucking hurt or who they step on. What they care about is making that money. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to drive their war initiative. They're going to drive their freaking policies to freaking sit there and fucking spend billions and billions and billions of dollars overseas at our expense of our tax money. Do you not understand that what they are doing is illegal? They are using our funds that we did not. I didn't vote for this shit. Did you vote for it? They are locating our funds and misappropriating them, not and falsely, in the name of every citizen in this United States. They are doing it under false pretenses. The congressmen and women who are out there and they're voting for this shit, you better get on them and ask them what the fuck they're doing. We got to stop this shit and shut it down. Shut it down. These fucking people are just running through and doing whatever the hell they want and getting away with it. And that's the sad thing, is because they're running amok. They're doing whatever the hell they want, getting away with it, and just fucking totally just obliterating our Constitution and making us look like fucking asses in front of everybody. But anyway, I just wanted to rant and rave about that for a little bit because we are seeing right now a lot of things coming to fruition. There was another thing I had posted. Let me see if I can pull that up too and get your guys' thoughts on it. Yeah, brother, it's shit. It really is. Oh, you can see it. I already posted it up there. So, the video I posted about that CERN portal opening. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, here it is. Let me open this up. We'll talk about this right now. Let's check this out. So, anybody that doesn't know anything about what CERN is, it is a hadron collider. And what they do is they take these fucking particles and they send them fucking blazing fucking light speed and they smash them together. And it creates these particles that are the life source of the universe. And God, this fucking microphone cord. Anyway, God, I hate this fucking thing. So they smash them together. And the first time I believe they did this was in 2012, where they fired this fucking thing up. And I believe there was earthquakes that had happened. There was a tsunami, I believe, that happened. And people were seeing weird shit all over the place. So this is a video that a person from TikTok, Aludra6640, took the end of last year, okay, in Switzerland. And I'll pull up a map and everybody can check it out. But this thing runs, I think it's like 12 miles or 24 miles or something like that underneath the city. And these they're taking these particles and they're shooting them when they turn this fucking thing on. And this is what you're getting. I mean, tell me what you think about it. We'll talk about it. Here you go.
On December 29th, 2023. No coincidence, I'm sure, that that's the same location that CERN's particle accelerator's at. It looks like they are opening portals again. I'm sure the boosted community will just claim it's a thunderstorm. It's called weather. But what do you think? Just some natural weather phenomenon? Or does it seem like CERN is up to it again? To me, it definitely looks like those parasites are out playing God again. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
All right. So that's what we've got. To me, yeah, right, bro. As I said before, to me, that just does not seem natural, obviously. And a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, well, you know, it is," and whatnot, and it's just something that's happening with weather phenomena, blah 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 blah. Okay, kiss my ass. I don't think so. That is not natural. I don't care what you say. It's not natural. The fucking portal opened up, man. Whatever you believe, ancient societies, ancient cultures around the world talk about, and like I said, even in the Emerald Tablets, it talks about at the end times before Thoth comes back, and Thoth takes many different forms throughout generations, that men will become like gods. And when they reach this vast amount of knowledge, we are actually stepping into a realm that we are trying to be like them. And they don't want that. And we've seen this happen in society through history many, 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 many times. Cultures fade, they get destroyed, plagues happen, earthquakes, volcanoes, floods, whatever. Call it what you want, the great resets. We are at that point where, like I said, it talks about it in the Emerald Tablets, 36,000 years before the Bible, that men will accumulate that knowledge. They will seek that knowledge, but there are those who are going to misuse that knowledge for the dark ones. It sounds far-fetched. It's crazy, I know. But we are cloning human beings at a fast, rapid rate. We are taking human consciousness, which is in our essence, and taking it out of our life body source, unnaturalness, and placing it into a machine. We are taking things that are sustaining us to keep us alive, feeding us that can harness our power. And we're killing people by giving them fake nutrients. We're killing people by putting fucking chemicals in the air, trying to fucking manipulate the weather. We are indoctrinating people with falsities through religious cults. We were just watching a movie on Netflix. It was called Sister Death. There is so much symbology in that movie. It's fucking unbelievable. And my wife and I were sitting there watching that show. And I'm like getting chills. And I'm getting chills right now. I'm looking at her and I'm going, babe, do you see the symbology in all this crap? And she's looking at me and she's like, yep. I have never sat down and watched something and had it pop out at me going, holy fuck. Religion is a cult. They're fucking cults, dude. And I had an epiphany. I had an awakening that we have been led so far from our purpose on this earth through the lying and the hiding of everything that has gone on throughout history. And the leading and the freaking indoctrinating of our kids, of us, through the media, through church pews, through the popes, all these religious freaking head figures. It's bullshit. I am sorry. I am sorry if this offends you. I am not here to offend anybody. I'm just stating my opinion. Because I wish that people would wake up and see what is actually happening to them. You are living in a cult, and it is destroying you and giving you false realization of what you are and where you are going. People are going to a church and praying to a man to forgive their sins who is not even, has no power or control over you. But you're so afraid of this deity that you'll give up your money. You'll give up your time. You'll sit there and plead and cry for somebody to come and save you when you can do it yourself. And this goes back to the lying and the deceitness of who we are and where we come from. And the lying and the misinterpreting of scriptures and scrolls and information that has been hidden from everybody. It will blow your mind when you sit down. I just looked at that post that I had put in about the Tibetan monastery, the library. 5% of that library. You're talking about 10 to 45,000. Thousands of years of history, knowledge, documentation, interpretation of firsthand accounts by people who lived through the years. And like I said, you don't want to believe me when I sit here and tell you that Jesus went to Tibet to go learn with the monks and study with them. Go fucking research it yourself. It is insane. It will blow your mind because it is true. People don't want to see this. They don't want to hear it. Exactly, 90,000. There is so much history. Look at this freaking Library of Alexandria. This Tibetan library is pretty much the culmination of that, but from the Eastern standpoint, because the monks are the ones who wrote it. I wonder what's going to happen if they fucking get a hold of that and they destroy it. A fire might break out, or fucking some natural disaster that just fucking takes it all and fucking wipes it out. I didn't even know that there are still cuneiform tablets that have yet to be freaking translated. That blew my mind, because we're sitting here reading and looking at these tablets that have been translated now, and this is just like fucking 15% of the tablets that have been translated. There are vast amounts of libraries, text, scrolls that people have not even looked at yet. The stuff that's coming out is barely the tip of the iceberg. And you're right, bro. People are not allowed to go in there and look at this stuff. Why? I don't know. It baffles me. Really does. Because you have this information that is out there for everybody to see, but yet you're going to sit here and tell everybody that this one book, and I have one too because I still study it, because I freaking go through and I culminate these things with what the Gnostic texts, the hidden, the Apocrypha, these books right here that were left out of this book, and you put them together, and I'm telling you right now, the shit that comes out of here will blow your mind. It's mind altering. It's life changing, because a lot of time we've been sat down and told so much throughout our lives that religiously, and then I don't care who you are, where you come from, somebody's had an indoctrination about God, heaven, hell, when you die, whatever it is. Now, these things have been passed down and taught to us from our grandparents, our parents' parents, yada, 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 yada. And this shit that they've been told is everything that comes from some man that was fucking spewing some shit. You got to remember that cultures that lived here in the United States, if you didn't submit to the freaking church, you were murdered, you were killed, your kids were taken away from you. You were told that this is the only true religion, and you better freaking bow down and suppress to it, because if you don't, we're going to freaking deal with you. And I'm not saying that that Christianity is bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. You have it ass backwards. You got to rethink and look at everything, the bigger picture here. Because ancient cultures that have been here for thousands and thousands of years prior to this are trying to teach people the way to true enlightenment and the way to achieve your self-peace, self-worth, self-enlightenment, self-knowledge, self-empowerment is in yourself. Because everything that we have, everything that we are in this universe is inside of us. And that's exactly what Jesus was trying to tell you, is that everything that you see me do, you can do too. The same Father that is in me is in you. The only way to get through to him is by me. Why? Because he was trying to teach people and wake them up and tell them the truth. That's what he meant. He didn't mean that you got to sit there. He's God. He's telling you that the words that are coming out of my mouth are from him. Listen to what I'm telling you and understand that the only way to get to achieve ascension is by listening to what I'm telling you, because you're not getting the picture. I'm telling you, when you sit down and you look at everything, it makes more sense. The creator that created everything, yes, there is an omnipotent being, one source of everything. But we are all powerful. We have the same control, power, everything that is in us, everything that Jesus was saying, everything that Buddha was saying. They were all teaching us inner enlightenment. Our true nature our true life, don't fear death. Don't fear being in life. You're going to have pains. You're going to have problems. You're going to have sorrows. You're going to have things that come up against you. This life is for you to learn. It's a learning lesson. From the moment you're born till the day you take your last breath, you are learning lessons. What you do in between then determines whether or not you ascend and you get that enlightenment, or you freaking reincarnate and you come back and you say, you know what? I got to do this shit again because I didn't learn. I didn't finish what I had to do. The keys of death. When Jesus talks about when he ascended into hell and he took the keys of death from the devil, what it was talking about was that the power of death has no sway over anyone. He was illustrating to you that death it happens to everybody. We're all going to die. But why do you fear it? That's what he was saying is, look at me. I'm giving up my life because it doesn't matter. Look at me. I'm going to die. I want to show you that this is not going to affect you. Why? Because the same way you see me leave is the same way you're going to see me come back. He's talking about reincarnation. That's what he's talking about with the second coming of the Christ. That's what he's talking about when he's talking about the ascension. Elevating him. It's like fucking Yoda and Star Wars and Anakin and them. You see them when they freaking die and they ascend. They come back. They've reached that masterdom. They've reached that state of nirvana. It's like that. They're not dead. They're around, but they've just reached that masterdom of understanding the Force. I know that sounds really nerdy, and I'm like fucking going on about it, but it's crazy though, because I sit here and I talk to my wife and I talk to friends and Josh. Obviously, you and I have conversations. And we talk about things, and it hasn't gotten into this depth because, a lot of people don't talk about religion. But I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about the correlation between ancient texts and what is now. Because when you look at the ancient, I'm telling you, folks, you got to check this shit out. It makes more sense. When you look at all the pictures, when you look at these master copies, okay, these are hidden books. These are hidden texts and scrolls that were taken out of the Bible. This is the other shit, okay? The Gnostic Gospels. This book right here, the book of Enoch and the book of Joshua. Anybody who knows anything about the Bible, why would you keep the main book of the man who was so important and take it out from the main point of the book to discuss where we came from and who the people were here that freaking made us? Talking about giants, talking about the creation, talking about the watchers. Why would you because they don't want you to know the truth of who we are and where we come from. It's a lie. Everything that you fucking read in the Bible is a lie. And I'm going to say it. I'm sorry. People might not agree with me. Okay? But the wording and the descriptions and everything in it has been twisted to make you freaking subservient to the church. It's a fucking cult. It's a cult. You're right. Josh is saying exactly what it says. When Enoch left, it's saying that a chariot came down. And when in the book, what he's talking about, it's not a fucking chariot. It's a ship. And he describes it in detail. They even made a freaking a model of what the description from the book says. And he didn't die. He left and came back years later. What does that sound like? Reincarnation. Folks, like I said, I'm just here to pass on information. You can look this stuff up yourself. I just wish that people would look into it. Please, please, if you do anything, look into this, because it will blow your mind. The veil that's on your eyes will be gone. Like I've said at the beginning of this show, everything that we know is not what we think it is. It isn't. This fucking world it's a lie. It's a fucking lie. And I wish that people would understand that and look at that, because when the more people see the truth of what's really going on, you'll start to understand and see the bigger picture. Because it's just like, I'll give you an explanation. It's like me trying to talk military shit to somebody who's never been in the military, right? You're not going to understand what I'm saying. You're never going to get it because you haven't been there. You haven't seen it. You haven't felt it. You haven't dealt with it. This is the same thing. If you're not looking into this stuff and you're not checking it out, you're not going to understand what I'm saying. But I'm giving you the tips here. Check it out. There's even places on this planet that have yet to be, they just found a whole, brand new, never before fucking seen city in South America. That's old. They're finding this shit all over. They found the ancient city in Florida that was like, they're saying it's like 40,000 years old or something like that, due to the carbon dating, which is, it's a hit or miss, in Florida. So if this is something that goes back, okay. Oh, LiDAR is the best, bro. LiDAR is the best. You have, hold on, my screen just went dark, so I'm like squinting. I can barely see myself. So, and it sucks because it makes the screen really bright, so you see the glare on my glasses. Anyway, so they found this city that was hidden underneath the Amazon jungle that's still there, and this place is huge. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick, and we'll take a look at it.